Hi everyone. So if we search the World Economic Forum like I have done, at the top of the page, even before about the Great Reset, it must be very important to them. And then underneath about, you've got the CV Action Platform. You've got agenda. Obviously, this site's full of agendas, dirty agendas, reports and careers. We're going to go through them and look through them together. So let's have a look at the first one, the Great Reset. I don't even think... I actually think that's a key word now that can get your videos banned. If you use that word. I don't give a shit. The Great Reset. There is an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the CV crisis to improve the state of the world. Obviously in your favour. Everything's always in their favour, isn't it? It's not like when they say that... the CV crisis has accelerated technology. Really, it's accelerated technology, has it? For the fourth industrial revolution, that you call it. And we've got fourth there, look, taking place in the contents of United Nations General Assembly. Yeah, let's unite all the nations together. The CV crisis and the political, economic, social disruption it has caused is fundamentally changing the traditional context for decision making. The inconsistencies, inequities, and contradictions of multiple systems, from health and financial to energy and education, are more exposed than ever amidst a global context of concern for lives, livelihoods, and the planet. Planet. Leaders find themselves at a historic crossroad, managing short-term pressures against the medium and long-term uncertainties. Yeah, it's uncertainties for everyone else, but you know what you're doing, don't you, Klaus Schwab? As we enter a unique window of opportunity, their window of opportunity, to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insights to help inform all those determined the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business and models, and management of global commons. Drawing from the vision and vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities. The New World Order Initiative, yeah, we call it the Great Reset, but really, New World Order, same thing, innit, really? Just, it's the new term, innit, the Great Reset. Probably, initiative has set for dimensions to build new social contract. It's interesting, social contract that honours the dignity of every human being. Here we go. They want to get everyone involved in their New World Order. Every nation in the world. Every nation's part of the United Nations, which is the same people that are running the show. Everything's run on a... It's like a diagram, isn't it? You've got the people at the top. It is like a pyramid, really. The people at the top. Or you can look at it as a spider diagram. So you've got the people in the centre that control everything that comes out of it. Everything comes out of the centre. So the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, the world leaders, the puppets that run everything. But you've got people above them that are telling them what to do and how to run things. And then you've got the politicians, the prime ministers, presidents, that are the so-called leaders. They're not the leaders, guys. They're just also part of it. Yes, they want electric cars by 2030. They want to get rid of all diesel. I'll just show you quick now. So here we've got the bullshit corporation from last year. When it went newswide, actually. It was on the TV as well. Ban on new petrol and diesel cars in the UK from 2030. And a lot of countries are under this climate change initiative. I know Biden's also joined that agenda now as well. And so the United States will be part of it. To ban all diesel cars in less than 9 years now. We've got less than 9 years to ban all diesel and petrol cars, so all be electric. I think where they're going with this, let's read it. New cars and vans power. It's crazy. You know, you won't be allowed to drive petrol and diesel cars by 2030. It'll be all part of the grid, I'm guessing, the smart grid, where everything's controlled. And I'm certain that they'll probably only have the electric charging points will probably be only in the cities where they want everyone. They probably won't be out in the out beyond where, I would like to travel to, away from all these bollocks. New cars and vans powered wholly by petrol and diesel will not be sold in the UK from 2030, Bojo has said. But some hybrids would still be allowed, he confirmed. So you'd have to at least have a hybrid. I mean, 9 years is not that far. It is part of what Mr. Johnson calls a green industrial revolution, similar to the fourth industrial revolution. He's this build back better that they're talking about. Build back better. Justin Trudeau, the Canadian president, Biden, Bojo, Boris Johnson, are all using that term. And it's come from probably the World Economic Forum. And it's part of the fourth industrial revolution. Not to mention that he has talked about artificial intelligence and all that before he was Prime Minister. There's videos of that. The total amount of new money announced the package is a 25th of projected 100 billion, the cost of the high-speed rail HS2. High-speed rail. Oh yeah, the HS2. Do you know what it reminds me of? It's basically going to travel from major cities to the capital, into London, the capital. It reminds me of the Hunger Games Society. Hunger Games, that's what it reminds me of. Call me crazy. But yeah, they're building the high speed too, aren't they? So it's going to go from like big cities like Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham, London. But it's not going to touch the smaller towns because they want everyone living in the big cities, smart cities. That is where I've done a video on the smart cities. Pretty much every major city in the UK is part of the Smart Cities initiative. They want sustainable development. Just means less of everything. They want everything's going to be controlled. Electric vehicles, nuclear, hydrogen, offshore wind, public transport. They want everyone to use public transport. Eventually, I don't think you'll even. I think they're aiming to so you don't even own your car. It'll be all probably, as crazy as it sounds, I think this is generally coming. It'll be all automated, and you rent the cars. You don't own them. You say, you own nothing and you'll be happy. I think that's the phrase that they use, isn't it? Homes and public buildings, making homes, schools and hospitals greener, warmer and more energy efficient. Oh, I fucking hate that word. Including a target to install 600,000 heat pumps every year by 2028. Yeah, they're just using this nature, climate change bollocks to push their more agendas of control. That's what it's about. I'll show you something. When I mentioned about the High Speed 2 and the Hunger Games, just give me a second. So here we can see Lady Gaga, all these kind of like coloured clothes in a way, kind of remind me of the Hunger Games Society. And I think it was it Max Egan? Yeah, he pointed out that if you look at this, it's like a mockingjay bird, isn't it? Like, I'll just show you now. So that's a mockingjay, like Hunger Games mockingjay. So I want you to look at this picture, and I'll just show you another picture. So I just showed you the Hunger Games mockingjay. Well, not sorry. On Lady Gaga, she had that bird, didn't she? Well, look, it reminded me of that. It reminded me of the Hunger Games mockingjay. You've got part 1 and then part 2. See, in the Hunger Games Society, in the movies, they're all in coloured clothes, aren't they? All the politicians. That's what it reminded me of. And I think they're just taking the piss. They're mocking it. Mocking. That's what they're doing. They're taking the mick. They're having a laugh, their own laughs. It's sick, really. But yeah, this is probably, when you talk about Bill Gates and, owning so much farmland, and you're wondering where all this is going. They're heading into a Great Depression. That's where we're heading into. The UK as well. But yeah, that's where we're heading into. And it's going to be like the Hunger Games. And I think this is like a ritual, all the different coloured clothes, like in the movie. You can see here, look, it's all like the. You can see here, look, it's all like the similar colours, the colours of coloured clothes. The only difference is the masks, obviously. So we're back to the Great Reset on the World Economic Forum. And we obviously know that most countries are all in that. The Prince of Wales, Prince Charles is involved. So we've got driving there. Most Europeans plan to curb flying, eat less meat for climate, EU poll says. Yeah, eat less of everything, I'd probably say. Less of everything, that's what they want. Less energy, own less stuff, use less stuff. It basically means less of everything. That's what sustainable means, in my opinion. Yeah. Fibres. Forced areas, remote, blah, blah, blah. Denmark is developing a digital CV passport. There we go. Look, on the World Economic Forum. The passport. So you've got to have the V, the jab. Here, look. This is probably where it will end up. Just to do things, just to travel, just to go into the shop, you'll have to have their passport to be rolled out in the first few months of 2021. And that's probably the start. It'll probably end up rolling out in every other part of the fucking world. I mean, the UK has probably started Ving more of its population. Denmark's only V'd 1% of its population, by the looks of it. Denmark is developing a digital V passport for people who have received the CVV, a move that may enable them to travel to countries where such documentation is required during this plan. Oh, Jesus, yeah. Here we go. You got your mask, your whites, and your blues. They love their blues. A lot of their logos around the world, these New World Order, I call it the New World Order colour, because you look at the World Health Organization, the United Nations, the Smart Cities, Sustainable Development. It's always like blue, grey, black, white, you know, all these colours. They love them colours. So, yeah, Denmark has begun developing a digital. Well, that'll probably mean, yeah, I don't know. Digital passport, what does that mean? Or it can just be a card. Why are they developing it? I'll tell you why it is, saying that developing it, because it's not a card. It'll be inserted into your skin. That's what it will be. Right. So I'm already getting a little bit fed up. I know what it's about, so I'm just going to look quickly at the the CV Action platform here. An international organisation for public-private cooperation of the World Economic Forum is mobilising all stakeholders to protect lives and livelihoods. Here we go. The dramatic spread of the CV has disrupted lives, livelihoods, communities and businesses worldwide. All stakeholders, especially global businesses, must urgently come together to minimise its impact on public health and limit its potential for further disruptions to lives and economies around the world. Yeah, they love to put the crises in, don't they? Like I said, always in their favour. But the sum of many individuals' actions will not add up to sufficient response. Only coordinated actions by businesses combined with global multi-stakeholder cooperation at exceptional scale and speed can potentially mitigate the risk and impact of unprecedented crisis. Well, it's just propaganda, this, isn't it, really? Just to hide what's really going on. But yeah, it is definitely in your favour. Yeah. When's this so-called cyber polygon going to happen? I wonder. I'll just show you something quickly, actually. So, in my area, there was a power cut, actually not that long ago. And it was, it went for about an hour and a half, and I don't think I've ever had a power cut in my area, so it was a little bit strange. All the house alarms went off, and there was no gas, no electric, no nothing for an hour and a half. And it seems, as you go down, it seems to become more frequent in the areas around us. Oh yeah, so I'll talk about the flooding another day. Can't tell me they plan all this as well, and they do, you know, they cause flooding deliberately to evacuate people. They're definitely testing something like this, you know, where streets are flooded. Yeah, this is just natural, innit? Just naturally happening. Not like it's the drain, they're, you know, doing something, putting chemicals to make it flood. But yeah, it seems to be more frequent power cuts when I looked at this compared to what there was before in the UK and England. And it's like Pakistan the other, was it last week? The week before, had a massive power cut in there, left 2 million houses without power. I've heard, you know, it could be the test for the so-called cyber polygon that they're talking about. I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. I look forward to making the next video.